Volvo is diving deeper into its electrified future, and the 2024 EX90 is the vehicle that will lead the way for the brand. Volvo can now say every part of its lineup is electrified in some manner, be it fully battery electric vehicle or a gas-powered one, assisting in a hybrid manner. The ultimate goal is a fully EV-only lineup by 2030 though, and this EX90 is the flagship that will lead the way there. The 2024 Volvo EX90 is the automaker's first electric vehicle built as such from the ground up. It's not based on existing architecture that includes gas-powered vehicles. Instead, this one borrows from the Polestar side of the family to deliver a battery-only experience. Under the skin, the Volvo EX90 features a pair of electric motors feeding off a battery with 107 kilowatt hours of usable energy from a 111 kilowatt hour pack. There's a standard model which features 402 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque, and a performance version that bumps the output to 496 horsepower and 671 pound-feet of torque. That's enough oomph for the standard model to go from 0 to 60 in just 5.7 seconds. That means the performance model should be in the low 5-second range. Also impressive, when you need to slow down, the EX90 boasts massive brake rotors. The rear rotors are 15.4 inches, while the fronts are 15.7. Then when you're ready to charge back up, the EX90 can handle 250 kilowatt charging speeds. And that returns the state of charge from 10 to 80% in around 30 minutes. Volvo says the targeted driving range is 300 miles, which pretty much seems to be the benchmark these days. That's good since that feels like a number most consumers should feel comfortable with. Granted, anything in the 200-mile range is usable by a lot of consumers, but 300 seems to be where folks really start to ease up on their range anxiety. Design-wise, the EX90 is a forward-looking evolution of a style and shape of which Volvo customers are used to seeing. Gone is the traditional grille, and in its place is a rounded-off section that leads to the latest version of the Thor's hammer lighting element. Up on the roof, you'll notice the Lidar protrusion. The EX90 features tons of cameras and safety sensing gear. In fact, the car can tell if the driver has become incapacitated and bring the car to a stop on the roadside while activating the hazard lights. There's radar in the cabin that can detect if a child or pet has been left in the car, which then causes the EX90 to display a reminder and turn on the climate control system to keep the cabin cozy. Speaking of the cabin, the EX90 is pushing Volvo style even more in a minimalist direction. Yes, there's the clean digital display ahead of the driver and a massive 14.5-inch vertical touchscreen, but it's otherwise quite simple inside. Somehow though, Volvo manages to pull this off cleanly without feeling overly sparse. It's like a crisp Scandinavian hotel room overlooking a quiet, cool morning. I need a big cable knit sweater and an expensive smile to drive this thing. The cabin space has room for 7 as it's a 3-row electric SUV, and you can fold those seats down to make more space, and there's a bit of space in the nose with a relatively tiny frunk. Volvo is clear in its commitment to keeping the inside as clean as the emissions too. The seats are made of wool blend fabrics and recycled plastic. On the trim pieces, you'll find smartly sourced wood, and then your feet rest on carpets also made from recycled material. Beyond that though, you have great tech too, including the ability to use your smartphone as a key or to blast music through the available 25-speaker Bowers & Wilkins sound system. So it's future thinking meets forward thinking. It sounds the same, but it's different in my head. Volvo says the 2024 EX90 will hit dealer lots early in 2024. Interested buyers can pre-order the car now and then finalize their spec later in 2023. The exact price isn't out there yet, but Volvo has said that a well-equipped version will land under $80,000.